Hi, you guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Trying to find us on our second screen here. There we are. Hi,
Trying
Kate.
to find us on our second screen.
Oops. Oh, hi, AC. I need to take my jacket off. Hi, Prissy Missy. Hi, Patriot Wife. Thank you, darling, for letting me know that we have audio. Aunt B, hi, darling. Okay. Rianne, it keeps jumping over you. I kept trying to grab Rianne. Oh, TT, darling, what a morning we have had. What a couple of days, huh? Thank you for being here. Love you too, AC. Hey, Mama Sita, thank you, darling, for being here. Okay, New Orleans lady, baby, you keep your eyes on the road and you stay safe. Hi, Izzy Rose. Baby, I know some of you darlings have been. Hi, Moonlight View. Yeah, let's do this, baby. We're going to look at the statement from the attorney. Misty Dawn, baby, honey, I know most of y'all, hi Dukes, you've been over with us at Angel Talks Too Fast. The link is in the description below. If you are interested in seeing, hi Sassy, Brenda, Kimberly, honey, and Birdie, I think I highlighted you, but I didn't say anything. Tuyins, hi, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Brenda Pittman, hi, darling. You make no lady feel good. You're listening, Shalama. Okay, baby. Hi, single mama 4. Yes, it is, baby. It sure is frustrating. Big hugs right back to you, Moonlight. Hi, apple of his eye. Yeah, I am. I'm physically well. Actually, I'm well all over. Hi, come on now. Glad you came back over to see us. Let me get this jacket off. It's kind of chilly here in Northeast. I'm thinking Northeast Tennessee, North Central Arkansas. A nice October autumn day with sunshine, but really cool outside. So the Ninja Kittens are outside in the catio, but I've got stuff wrapped around and all kinds of, cozy places for them to be. So, hi, Esther. So that's why I still had my jacket on, because I had been outside to smoke between Angel Talks Too Fast in my life. I'm looking at myself in this is my necklace that AC sent me that I never take off. AC, that's in our chat. It has earrings that match it, but these are one of the pair of earrings that's sending you good karma. Got me. So I was checking it out because once in a while it'll do that thing where the latch slides around. Birdie, you're having a cold front too. Hi, Elizabeth Lander. I'm trying so hard not to miss anybody. And kind of let us get settled in a little bit. I might get a little heated, but I'm going to try not to get, hi, Sharon, over the top like I can tend to do. Y'all know that if you've been watching me long enough, darlings, you know that I try so hard. I can't brag on my success rate, but I can kindly brag about how hard I try to not bring anger and angst into our live streams. I try to do rants and raves on short pre-recorded uploads so that my live chat is not subjected to me having a holy mackerel moment live on YouTube. However, hi Sasha. You in Kingsport, baby? Sasha too is 39 in Kingsport. Yeah, we've been having the freeze warnings, you know, where your phone goes, gives that little and then says freeze warning from NOAA, I guess, NOAA. I don't have my light. What's the deal? Let's show those wrinkles off. I earned them. All right, babes. Hi, Donna Odom. Good to see you, baby. Thank you for coming over. All right, now, what I was saying about most of you, now I'm through checking myself out in my own screen. The majority of you have been in the live chat where I moderate, along with some of you, for Angel Talks Too Fast this morning and early afternoon, and may be pretty worn out with this topic. And if so, I completely get it. But when I have something just needling me, I find that if I come on live and talk to you guys, it helps me calm down. It helps me put things to rest. Sometimes you guys have something to say in chat that will give me a different perspective, or sometimes a kind word, or sometimes we need you to calm down. All done in love. But y'all, I'm very, 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 how many varies can I say? Angry about the handling of Brian Lewis Lawson's case in Hawkins County, Tennessee. You all know, or I believe most of you know, that Brandon Lewis Lawson is the 43-year-old son of Sheriff Ronnie Lawson of Hawkins County, who is along with his department, more specifically Detective Pruitt, in charge of the case of Summer Moon Utah Wells and her disappearance. And now on October 13th of 2022, we have had Brandon Lawson apply the Alford, ALFORD, plea to 4 counts of attempted aggravated sexual battery, reportedly against 2 female minors. Rumors are flying about who the victims may be. Do not, in this chat or in my comments, make any references whatsoever to who you think the victims may be. Don't do it. Mods, if anyone accidentally does after this admonition, don't block them, but immediately delete the remark, please. I will not allow any discussion whatsoever speculating on who these victims are. And when we get through looking at Mr. Stapleton Esquire, the attorney for Brandon Lawson, when we get through looking at his statement as given to the Rogersville Review, I hope that my viewers and subs will understand why on this channel we care about the victims. We have empathy for them. Most of us likely wish we could reach out and hug them, but we will not speculate about who they are. They're having a hard enough time as it is, as we will see if I have pulled up the correct article. I'm not going to apologize today for being angry and worked up because, in my opinion, because it's my channel and that's why I have this channel, it is justified rage against the system in Hawkins County, Tennessee. This morning, underneath, and I've blocked the user. I'm not going to go into a long explanation of, I'm just going to tell you this. I had a comment under this morning's upload regarding the Lawsons that stated that I've had the word F in my mouth ever since my first live coming at Ronnie Lawson, and that I had implied that he has threatened me. Let me tell you something, viewer, whose name I've never seen before in my chat or comment section. You're a liar. I have never once implied or in any way indicated that Ronnie Lawson has threatened me. And it wasn't, my dear, a live. And I will be happy to go back through all of my more than 600 videos and find everything I've said about Ronnie Lawson to substantiate what I am saying now. If it is the video to which I think you, if you see this, were referring, it would be the day in September of 2021 when I sat with my little 3G camera in a lawn chair smoking a cigarette in front of my storm cellar door and told Ronnie Lawson, I ain't scared of you, Ronnie Lawson. Meaning I will speak out and there ain't a motherfucking thing you can do about it. And I have conscientiously, fact-driven, evidence-driven, in the ensuing year, at my leisure, when provoked, called the motherfucker out. The motherfucker being Ronnie Lawson. So I hope if you see this, that you're clear on that. And if I can find you and unblock you, since I can't remember your name, the next time you come in my comment section or my live chat, if you choose to do so, you better have the title of my video and the timestamp from when I ever said or implied that I have been threatened by Ronnie Lawson, you fucking liar. In the meantime, when I block someone in a comment section, unfortunately, in some cases, because it's only the second time I've done it in over a year, it also removes your comment. Because you got reported to YouTube. Now, my viewers know I'm a one and done kind of gal. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. And y'all, I do apologize to my regular viewers and to the moderators who are going to have to pay close attention to chat. I don't generally lay out rules for live chat like I did today about talking about victims. I want free speech over here. I want y'all to be able to express your feelings as well as your thoughts freely, as long as you dress up the curse words and stuff like that that would violate terms of service with YouTube and get our channel in trouble. But today, do it for me, do it for the victims, do it for yourself. Because you know how people screenshot, how they'll come at you sideways in another chat, and let's just protect everybody concerned, okay? Now, Tracy, honey, I hadn't said anything of significance other than if you are just now coming in, Tracy, the thing I'm asking, I only have one really solid ground rule today, and that is no speculation in chat about who Brandon Lewis Lawson's victims might be. None. You won't get blocked, but you will get your comment removed by the moderators. Hi, Maria. If we have any, do I have mods in here? I got Cherokee. Cherokee, you're coming in. Babies, we may not have, do I? Cherokee, are you the only mod in here, honey? Okay. It looks like it. And y'all, so let me do this right quick. Hang on for me just a moment, please. Hi, Dolly. Babies, I'm sorry. I'm on live. I forgot to let y'all know. Cherokee Girl has come in late, but she's going to have to replay. Is there any way that anybody can come over? Because I'm going to talk about the statement released by Brandon Lawson's attorney, Mr. Stapleton, to the Rogersville Review. And there's a possibility, Okay, now Angel just came in and Carrie's here. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Angel, for being here. All right, now looking at my tab, hang on just a second. Okay, I need to accidentally took down the Rogersville Review tab. Hey, give me just a second here to pull that back up. Where is it? Hang on, I think I found it. Give me just a minute. I'm not looking. Okay, I think I got the right one. All right, darlings. Here we go. All right, now when we did this yesterday, I lost audio. So you have to let me know in my chat that I'm looking at on my phone if you can still hear me, or if we lose audio while we're reading this, if you will please tag me so that I see the orange highlight. But at this point, can you still hear me? Okay. Okay, darlings. I've got my phone propped up here with the chat running so I can see if you tag me if we lose audio. I believe I've already shared the link to this in the description below. If I have failed to do so, it will be there as soon as I end this live stream. Full credit will go to the Rogersville Review. Oh, let's see. Who wrote it? All right, it says staff report 6 hours ago. All right, let's meet through his mugshot. First of all, Mr. Brandon Lewis Lawson, 43, of Hawkins County, Tennessee. Son of recently re-elected Sheriff Ronnie Lawson. Now, if you were over with us on Angel Talks Too Fast, and if you weren't, her link is shared in the description below, and I hope that you will go peruse that video, because Angel talked about, from a Department of Justice study that she pulled up, things such as how to handle this kind of guy. And the fact that studies substantiate that a man or a woman with this person's proclivities is a learned behavior. If I may quote my favorite sheriff, Grady Judd, did you hear what I just said? According to the United States Department of Justice, Brandon Lewis Lawson's behavior is learned behavior. A Rogersville man who offered an Alford plea Thursday in Hawkins County Criminal Court to 4 counts of attempted aggravated sexual battery was sentenced to 20 years, of which 1 year must be served in prison. As my adorable friend Angel would say, sidebar. No, Brandon Lawson is serving 1 year in the Granger County, Tennessee detention facility, not a prison. However, based on what I know about jail versus prison, I'd almost rather he be in a county jail, because prison's a little bit nicer facility usually. Babies, unless I see a tag, I'm not going to be looking down at chat. I'm just glancing down. Okay. Following 1 year of incarceration, Brandon Lewis Lawson, 43, of Rogersville. Why does that town name just sound so incredibly familiar to me? Oh, I know. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Will serve the remaining time on probation. Okay, so he's sentenced to 20 years, and he'll serve 1 year of incarceration and then 19 years on probation. According to the latest official public documents, that's already been arranged with the Johnson City Parole and Probation offices. Isn't that interesting? Mostly questions seeking answers. Okay, so 19 years then on probation, is that right? And then, of course, within 10 days of his release, according to Tennessee state law, he has to register as a sex offender in the state of Tennessee for life. But I don't know, kind of looks to me like the way this business has been handled. Who knows how that part will go? All right, let's go on. I'm sorry. I'm snarky as all get out. Babies, I can either be snarky, I can yell at the top of my lungs, or I can bawl. I'm going today. Lawson made his Alford plea by information Thursday, which means he hadn't been indicted or formally charged at the time. The pending charges were the result of an investigation led by the 3rd Judicial District Attorney General's Office. Now, we know, based on yesterday's reports, that District Attorney General Dan Armstrong basically recused himself from this and handed it over to his assistant. So it was the assistant who prosecuted this on record. But we have strong reason and evidence to believe that there are a great number of records in Hawkins County, Tennessee, when it comes to certain government agencies that, just aren't, I don't know, properly kept. All the way from entries to whatever else. Perhaps no entries whatsoever in some cases. Who knows? The pending charges were okay, we already read that. An Alford plea is not an admission of guilt, but the defendant admits that the evidence presented by the prosecution would be likely to persuade a judge or jury to find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So we've got this guy, this 43-year-old man. We're going to finish the article, but sidebar. Who 4 charges of attempted aggravated sexual battery, Class B felonies, 4 Class B felonies in the state of Tennessee, who makes an Alford plea by information on Thursday, which, by the way, in Hawkins County, that's not a regular court day. Hawkins County Criminal Court is not held on Thursdays. Okay? Except by special request. So there's that to think about. So are we to believe that those aren't reduced charges through a plea bargain? Are we to believe that attempted, aggravated, which makes you kind of special, Mr. Lawson, when they tag on the word aggravated, sir? Because that, sir, implies a weapon or something that your victim perceived as a weapon, and or there was more than one person involved in the battery, and or that more than one person was involved in the coercion and or the, my word, not the annotated code's word, attack, with an S on the end, plural, and or that your victims were under the age of 13, sir. So when we put the word aggravated there, those elements come into play. So, as I said to Angel on her panel earlier, there is no one on God's green earth who can convince me that these 4 Class B felonies are not reduced charges based on a plea bargain through an Alford plea by information on a special court day that within 3 hours, Mr. Lawson goes through the entire fucking system and is transported to the Granger County Detention Facility. 3 hours. Which is why yesterday I demanded on my channel a federal investigation by any and all federal authorities who deal with such matters. Against Lawson were made by 2 underage female victims. So that right there indirectly substantiates part of the aggravated, doesn't it? Because, and the reason I say, with a kind of, do they mean underage in regards to under 13, and therefore, and therefrom stems the aggravated part of the charges? Or does that mean like, y'all, what's the phrase I want? Underage, like you would have to have your parents sign for you to, like, you're not old enough to vote, you're not old enough to drink, you're not old enough to get married without your parents. What do they mean, underage? It's not clear, but we can kind of, Tracy, minor is what you think, baby? Okay, I'm not making any accusations. I want to make that perfectly clear. But in my opinion, underage to me indicates plays into our speculation on the aggravated charges. That it may be that the 2 female victims were under the age of 13. That is the law in Tennessee when it comes to the aggravated, okay? Okay. The allegations against Lawson were made by 2 underage female victims dating back to 2018 and 2020 regarding unlawful attempted sexual contact that Lawson made toward them. I do not know, and I want to know, when were the allegations made? Were the allegations made the morning of October the 13th of 2022 and by a little bit after noon Eastern Daylight Time, Mr. Lawson is in Granger County Detention Facility? Or were these allegations made when the crimes occurred? And has this, if so, has this been downplayed, put on the down low, swept under the rug, maneuvering behind the scenes by elected government officials for 2 to 4 years? While all these handy-dandy, obviously behind the scenes arrangements for Brandon Lewis Lawson were being made. Question mark? According to court records, separate incidents occurred in March and August of 2018 and in April and December of 2020. Lawson pleaded guilty before special appointed judge Carter Moore. Special appointed judge. Why did the regular judge who would be sitting in that courtroom in Judicial District 3, whose bench and courtroom that is, have to recuse themselves because maybe they're pals? Question mark? Special appointed Judge Carter Moore to 4 counts of attempted aggravated sexual battery, a Class C felony. Now, what I researched yesterday said Class B. Now, I'm going to have to go do some more research on that, because what I was looking at yesterday was Tennessee annotated code. Updated, not updated, but still, what's the word? Not verified, but 2021, 2022. Boom, pow, still in effect. So where's this discrepancy? Now I got more research to do when we get off the live. Boy, am I yelling or what? He was sentenced to 5 years on each count to run consecutively for a total of 20 years, with 1 year in jail and the rest on supervised probation. He will also be required to register as a convicted sex offender for life. Thank you. The plea agreement was approved by the victims and their parents. Both girls, not women, both girls, entered victim impact statements into the court record. Now, why would these good people agree, darlings, to a plea agreement? Well, let me tell you why. And I've talked about this before. Here in Cleburne County, Arkansas, when Roderick Watkins, W-A-T-K-I-N-S, Kins, pled not guilty to 4 counts not only the 4 children for whom he was charged, and I'm talking grade school children, not even preteens. They had to take the stand in a public court of law with their abuser sitting across the defendant's table, not more than 25 feet away from them, while he was looking at them. It got so bad at one point with one of the witnesses, one of the females, because this guy didn't have a gender preference. Boy or girl was okay with him. He had a total of 10 substantiated victims in our congregation as an elder. But our local judicial system knew they for sure that on 4 of them they could get a conviction, so that's what they went with. But the other 6 victims testified. And at one point, when one young lady who is now a teenager in high school, but was a little child, young enough to sit on this man's lap during church functions and related activities, with a blanket over her, when she gave her testimony, her emotional state devolved to the point that the judge had to shut it down, send the jury out of the room, call a recess, and re-adjourn court an hour and a half later. That is why these good people would agree to a plea agreement. Let's go on with our article. Mods, if you would please intermittently throw up trigger warnings in regards to material not being suitable, please, for children and or like sensitive viewers, anyone that may be horribly triggered by what we're about to look at here. For the rest of this article, please. One victim stated that Lawson made sexual advances toward her, touched her body, showed her a lewd photo of, and threatened to tell people she had had sex with him. He told anyone. It made me feel disgusting and guilty that it happened, the first victim said in her victim impact statement. Continuing with the quote, "I feel like people would feel different in a bad way if they knew." I know that feeling, viewers. Let's go on. "It made me feel insecure about my body. I felt guilty that I didn't tell anyone, but I was scared. It made me very sad and disgusted with myself. I don't like being around older men." Close the quote from victim 1. Viewers, you know I'm a survivor, so this is very triggering for me. I'm sorry. The second victim simply described Lawson's crimes against her as, quote, sexual abuse, unquote. She stated she's been in counseling, was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress syndrome, and that she feels like her world has been flipped upside down. Quote, I would like to say that, excuse me, I want to dignify this victim with reading her quote correctly. I would like to say that I did not choose for all of this to take place, the second victim stated. I just chose to tell the truth. By telling the truth, I have lost many people that I was close with. She added, I feel like I have lost relationships. And then we see an ellipses, and y'all know what that means. They've left something out of her quote. I feel like I have lost relationships by telling the truth. So I believe he should go through the same pain because it is his fault. End the quote. Now, here's where I'm going to get extremely angry, and will do my very best. Defense attorney Mark Stapleton told the Review that Lawson, quote, has been fighting demons, unquote, for the majority of his life. He's 43. Do you mean to tell me you expect me to believe that a 43-year-old man who, according to his defense attorney, Stapleton, has made an official statement to the Rogersville Review that Lawson has been fighting demons for the majority of his life? You expect me to believe that he never did anything like this before 2018? Fuck you. Quote, he turned to the Lord many years ago for Christian guidance. He lost his footing for a few years, and it's been hard on him. Let's close the quote from Mr. Stapleton for a moment. He lost his footing? I think we could call that minimization. He lost his footing? Let me tell you something, Stapleton. He lost more than his fucking footing. As a matter of fact, because his crimes are a learned behavior, he likely never had it to lose. And y'all, let's be careful what we say in chat about Mr. Mark Stapleton, attorney at law, because this guy obviously has some motherfucking connections, doesn't he? That means that if we aren't careful, if we are the least bit slanderous or libelous in anything we say and or do in his regard, there's a strong likelihood this motherfucker will come after us. And it looks to me like with what he's been able to accomplish and arrange and accomplish here, Mr. Stapleton Esquire knows his way around the courtroom. And because from what I've actually seen, he tends to lean more towards the, what's that phrase? Ambulance chaser category, injury, suing somebody because you fell down their steps and sprained your ankle guy, but with, big money. Oh, it's been hard on him. It's been hard on Brandon. Has it? Has it, Mr. Stapleton? Mr. Stapleton, sir, may I respectfully say to you, I don't give a flying fuck. I couldn't give a shit less about Brandon Lewis Lawson's state of mind, his psychological well-being, his emotional well-being, his mental well-being, his spiritual well-being, nor his physical well-being, sir. Frankly, I hope there are some real demons in the Granger County Detention Facility who might have a word at the lunch table with Mr. Lawson about his crimes. Hard on him. Fuck you. Quote, he's had a challenging time trying to overcome the burdens of his past. Everyone deserves some peace when this is over. Mr. Stapleton, for the victims, this will never, bold, all caps, italicized, underlined, with 2 million fire emojis on either side. Never will this be over for his victims. And sir, I speak to you, as I said on Angel's channel, from direct personal experience at the age of 70, sir. 62 years later, I still have nightmares about my abuser. And if you, sir, are including anyone other than the victims in the word everyone, take a leap off a high cliff where there is no water below. Please. Figuratively speaking, of course. Chad, I promise I will come back to you guys. I will. I'll come back to you guys. But I'm going to get through this article. And I, Mr. Stapleton, I hope from this point forward, everyone in this case, oh, well, here we have clarification. I guess that answers that question, doesn't it? Including Brandon, the victims, and everyone else involved can move forward and put this all behind them. Fuck you, Mark Stapleton. This time, you're fucking horse too. motherfucker. By the way, Mr. Stapleton, my name is Susan Brewer, and I live in Heber Springs, Arkansas, if you feel the need to send me any fucking paperwork. It's been a challenging time, and it's time to look forward instead of back. And I hope being everyone. You know what, Mr. Stapleton? Sitting in your motherfucking law offices right now, moving on to your next case as a defense attorney, highly successful, to your own narcissistic on your website write-up of yourself and career. I'm sure that today you, sir, have put it behind you and you are moving forward. I'd sure like to know how much the Lawsons paid you for this. In one paragraph, y'all, I'm counting the times he says or implies everyone. 1, 2, right here, 3, 4, 5, because of the implications. 6 times in what? 3 short sentences, 2 sentences, 3 sentences. He hopes everyone involved can move forward. So there's that. Let's take one last look here before I take this down at Brandon Lewis Lawson, 43, of Rogersville, Tennessee, currently incarcerated in the Granger County Detention Facility in the state of Tennessee in the United States of America on 4 counts of attempted aggravated sexual battery of 2 minor female victims who were, one of them stated, was threatened to keep her mouth shut. Or else what, Brandon? Was your daddy and his department included with that threat, Brandon? You and your daddy wrote out a state to get the DNA from you. For what? Who are they comparing your DNA to? Or to what are they comparing your DNA to, Brandon? When were these allegations made? When? Were these allegations made? If you can hear my tummy, y'all, I haven't had a bite to eat today. I've had coffee and a soda pop. Hi, flies. Flies on the coleslaw says, makes me wonder how many other victims was swept away and dismissed, ? I bet these victims went somewhere else to complain. Come on now. His eyes speak volumes. Come on now. I agree with you, honey. And I know something like that. You know, us saying looking into his eyes, but dang nabbit, I've looked into the eyes of 3 men in my life. Izzy Rose, be nice to someone. Did it to him, and then they look at him and just say, get over it. Yeah, Izzy. Tracy, how many others are terrified? McBro, he's gotten away with it for years at 43. McBro, that's what, baby, that's what I'm throwing out there in my speculation. When I said, do they honestly expect me, and obviously the majority of y'all, from what I'm glancing at here, they expect us to believe. Okay, he's 43 now. 2018 was 4 years ago. That'd make him, what, 39 in 2018? He was born in 1979, August of 79. I don't have the date. They redact it. But I know it was August of 1979. So they expect us to believe that, according to Stapleton, his defense attorney's statement, he's been fighting these demons for the majority of his life. So he just started this shit at the age of 39. Fuck you. Not viewers, not you guys, not you babies. You know what I mean. Rianne, we can find no evidence, we being myself, Angel, or anybody else that I know of at this point, not that I've checked that far. But Rianne, baby, we cannot find any place that Lawson has been ordered to have any kind of psychological evaluation, mental evaluation. How do you qualify a guy like this for probation that you've already arranged a year ahead of time? How do you do that with no evidence, at least so far, of him having had a psychological evaluation to determine whether or not he should even be qualified, if that's the word, for fucking probation for 19 years? Y'all know what the I can't ever say that word. Recidivism rate is on this? According to the Department of Justice, it's almost 100%. I have seen interviews way back in the day, like maybe the 1980s, on television, on like one of those programs that they used to have. They called them television magazines, like 60 Minutes or something like that, right? And they go in and they interview a convicted pedophile who's in prison for life. He took the lives of victims, but in the interview, when asked by the interviewer, his response was, "Don't ever let me out of here, because if you do, I will do it again." That's a direct quote from a pedophile in prison for life, saying, "Don't let me out of here. If you do, I will do it again." And not a direct quote, but paraphrasing, he went on to say, "And so it goes for everyone else like me. We cannot be cured." And if this, according to the Department of Justice of the United States of America, and I trust them, is a learned behavior, I want to know, who did you learn it from, Brandon? And I want to repeat what I said yesterday to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson. I think it'd be a really good idea if you made a statement without your sunglasses on. I also think it would be a really good idea if you resigned your position as sheriff of Hawkins County and stepped the fuck down. The problem with that could be that the next could be worse. And we don't know what worse is because we don't know how bad it is now. Because every layer that is pulled off of the onion of Hawkins County, Tennessee, the level of corruption, the closer you get to the core, which we're nowhere near, I don't think. But with each layer we pull off, we reveal a more rotten layer than the one that was just removed. That's why yesterday I demanded that the federal government get involved and find out what the hell is going on in Hawkins County. But Rianne, I went down a rabbit hole there on you babies. I'm sorry for that. But as far as we know, I'm trying to get back down, y'all, to the current chat. Cindy Blakely is saying, because we don't know how many victims and connections of CP and etc. We have no idea, babies. Hi, Dolly. Yep, his daddy is the sheriff, that's for sure. Aunt B, I don't know what you're saying, so true too, baby, but hi, Aunt B, I love you. I'm so glad to see you here. Beverly Vineyard is saying amen to something, and Baby Yoda the trucker, you were right about Ronnie Lawson this whole time. Darlings, there are some times in an old woman's life when employing the phrase, I told you so, is very satisfying. Not this time. Based on what we've learned so far and what continues to be revealed. It is not the least bit satisfying this time to say, I told you so. Fizzle from True Crime Commentary Channel, I think it's now called Fizzle. She told us so. Over a year ago, Fizzle started telling us so. Angel Talks Too Fast has told us so. And I would love right now for every single person in this chat to be able to say, we told you so, Miss Susan, you were wrong about Ronnie Lawson. Not only for the victims of his son, but because of the potential impact it has had into the investigation of the disappearance of Summer Moon Utah Wells. Because Ronnie Lawson was in the middle of all this with Brandon as his daddy and the sheriff of Hawkins County. Right smack dab in the middle of it, a baby named Summer Wells disappears. So other than the victims of Brandon Lawson, that's why I'm angry. How much time spent by Ronnie Lawson and his CID and District Attorney General Dan Armstrong And the judge that recused themselves or whatever, so that Judge Moore took over for Brandon Lawson's case. How many of you were distracted trying to wheedle and work and manage this deal for this piece of shit scum, entitled motherfucking monster? How much time did you spend on this that you could have and should have been spending investigating the disappearance of Summer Wells? You motherfuckers. The fuck? So let's take a look before we say goodbye. Hi, not so dumb blonde. Hang on, we're getting stuff from our confidential source. Hang on a minute. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, this is a receipt for what we were talking about regarding the probation that our confidential source in Kingsport, Tennessee has sent to us. Let me see if I can get it where y'all can see it. Darn it. We saw this over on Angels. Babies, I'm trying. I can't get it to focus, so let me just... This is a receipt, state of Tennessee. It's substantiating, sent to us by our confidential source in Kingsport, Tennessee, that supervision type, probation. Supervision status, pending. Supervision status date. Here again, by this, we all know, but just to make sure that we're clear in case you're just coming in, this is on Brandon Lewis Lawson. Supervision status date, October 18, 2022, 9:20 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Begin date, October 14th, 2022. I'm confused by all of that. Supervising Officer Bruce Rudis, R-U-D as in David, I-S. Bruce, R-U-D as in David, I-S. Supervising Office, Johnson City Probation and Parole Office. Here again, receipt for what I was telling you guys. I don't know if you can. There we go. Okay. I think you can see it now. Here's our receipt. on what I was saying a while ago to substantiate who the supervising office for probation is. The reporting agency is the Tennessee Department of Corrections in Nashville. Okay? So, thank you to our confidential source. I appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you. All right, now I got to get back to. Okay, hi, the real sunflower. Hi, sweet D. Yeah, I'm needing a cigarette real bad, y'all. Let me email this link to myself. Let me remember how to do it. So that I can carry y'all outside using the phone. And have a cigarette before we say goodbye. I was going to show you. Mark Stapleton's website, and I don't know if we will. If we'll get to that or not. I want y'all to see what an arrogant man Mark Stapleton is through his own words about himself. Okay. It's loading us up to go outside. Okay, now I need to mute here. Okay. Can you guys hear me? I can't see chat on my phone, you guys, so I won't make the cigarette very long. We'll come back inside. But if you would please let me know in chat before I go outside if you can hear me. Okay, not so dumb blonde, you're saying yes, you can? Aunt BC, okay. Okay. There's probably some way, babies, that on StreamYard on the phone, there's probably some way. I don't know why I came to the freezer to get a cigarette. There's probably some way I could see your chat on here on the phone, but even if I could figure it out, it would be so small by the time, because on my phone screen right now, it's not only displaying what you're seeing on your screen, but there's all kinds of other stuff. So by the time a chat came up, babies, it would be so, I wouldn't be able to see it. I need to get my lighter. Maybe that's why I went to the freezer. Did I go to the freezer to get my lighter? And my lighter is in here because that's where my other smoking stuff is. Non-tobacco. See, as usual, as you can tell, I'm already more relaxed. I don't know what it is about coming on and talking to you guys live. There's just something about the crew that gathers up here in our chat room that makes a beautiful difference for me. Thank you all. I mean that sincerely.
All right, hang on a second here while I get me one out. I do wish I could see your chat, but because it makes me feel like I'm just like talking to myself. But when I do get back in there to look at chat, do y'all, okay, those dates that we were looking at and talking about in regards to his probation. I mean, he is going to spend a year in the Granger County Corrections facility or detention facility, isn't he? He's not out now, is he? I'm sure y'all can see. I mean, some of y'all are a whole lot smarter than me figuring stuff out like this. But even if you're the type that can figure it out, surely you can see why someone such as myself would be confused. I mean, isn't he supposed to serve 1 year and then get out on probation? I hate not being able to see your chat. And y'all, this Mark Stapleton guy, if there's anybody still on here, I mean, we're almost at an hour. We're like at an hour 22, so we can go a little bit long. I've got plenty of time on StreamYard, y'all. On my, I use the free StreamYard and you get 20 hours a month. And I've been budgeting out those 20 hours, trying to save them for stuff like this. Revolting developments. As Bugs Bunny would say, or was it Bugs Bunny that said, what a revolting development this is. What an ultramaroon. What an imbecile. But this Stapleton guy, y'all, Angel was looking at him. And I'm sorry you're looking at my nose. I'm trying to keep my head where you're not looking at my nose, but it's kind of hard to do. He brags on his website, y'all. That's my characterization. I'm calling it bragging. About the people he has gotten off of their charges, people who have been found not guilty due to his fine legalese. Who were accused of murder and in some cases, rape. That's a bragging point for him. Now, if I were a defense attorney, I would like to think that if I were going to brag on my accomplishments, my successes, I would have phrased that a little differently. Like I said over on Angels a while ago, maybe something like, a great number of clients that I have represented in a criminal court of law were found to be not guilty based on evidence I was able to present proving that they were innocent of the charges. Okay, enough cigarette. Let's go back in so we can shut her down and get on with our days. and I'll finish that cigarette after we get off of here. I think the neighbor was yelling at me, but I wasn't in the mood to interact with Timmy right now, not while we're live. He might have been saying hey to his dog though. Okay. Let me boot myself from here.
Am I back? Okay, babies, am I back? Can you hear me? Okay, Tracy's saying yes. It's like Zen therapy. Thank you, Aunt B. Okay. Poetry in motion. More. Moor. Hang on a second, honey. Oops, wrong thing. Just a second. I know you can't see what I'm looking at, but give me just a second here. No. See if I can get the first name. Hang on, babe. I'm almost there. Carter Moore. Carter, Carter, Moore, Moore, was the judge who facilitated this business. It's Yorkshire. Hi, Yorkshire. Good to see you, sweetheart. Hi, Sammy Sparrow. Always good to see you, honey. Chat keeps jumping on me. There's Bama Fan. If you're agreeing with TT, how's your phone? You're back as TT. Did the rice work? Y'all, it's not funny. TT, I'm sorry. Hi, Jackie. It's just a minute. TT, I'm not laughing at you. This morning, TT was out by the horse trough, and she dropped her phone into the horse trough. And she had to put it into rice. Damn horse. You don't mean that. You love those horses, and you know you do. But because you're back as TT and not using your husband's account, I think we can safely assume. Okay, so TT, do we have your sworn testimony that if you drop your phone into water, if you put it into rice, it works? Remember, you're under oath. There are penalties for perjury in this chat room. Oh, babies, thank you so much for putting a smile back on my face. Now, I might be bawling again here in a little bit, but it won't be live on YouTube. Lordy mercy. What a couple of days. Oh. Tracy, your sister-in-law did it and it worked? Okay. TT said it works. So, And Not So Dumb Blonde is saying something really great. Have a blessed day. We love you. You know what, Not So Dumb Blonde? Right back at every one of yous. I have a blessed day every single time that I hit go live. Because every single name in this chat room is an individual blessing unto me. So, baby, I can guarantee that my day has already been blessed and will continue to be so. And here it is, 4 o'clock again. And the chicken is thawed out, but I hadn't started cooking it. So, we're not going to look at Stapleton's website today. I will put the link, if I haven't already, in the description below. You guys can go take a look at this arrogant person who was Brandon Lewis Lawson's defense attorney in 4 counts and an Alford plea in a plea agreement to 4 counts of attempted aggravated sexual battery in the state of Tennessee, county of Hawkins. Now, we need us a song. And we shall go to Mama's Heavenly Highway Hymnals, copyright 1956. Yep. By the Stamps Baxter Music Company. And I'm just going to flip the pages and find one. Hang on. There's a whole lot of songs in here. Hey, maybe I'd do better if I go to the index. Y'all, if you don't know about, well, I'm looking in the index, if you don't know about shape note singing, this book, this hymnal, I guess you would call it, incorporates shape note singing. Which is an old way in the oral tradition in the hills and hollers of the Ozarks, the Appalachians, the Smokies, all of us down around this neck of the woods of the United States of America. Back in the old days, songs and stories were passed down through what was called the oral tradition. In other words, I taught it to you, you memorized it, and then you passed it down to the next one. And shape note singing is part of that tradition. All right, here's one I haven't sung for 500,000 years. No exaggeration. And I don't know how it'll go without accompaniment, but I'm going to do it anyway. Y'all know me. Bold as brass. If I start out in the wrong key, I'll have to modulate. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross, where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down, and I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. I would tell you to behave yourselves, but what would be the point of me wasting my breath in your time? I think it's perfectly clear to everyone here that you're not going to do it. So go have you some fun. But you be safe. And don't you ever forget for one single moment, day or night, that there really truly is one crazy old granny cat lady out here on the mean streets of YouTube who sincerely loves you, no matter what. Okay. And I'm going to see you on the flip-flop, whether you like it or not. That is, if you choose to tune in the broadcast.